compact SUV segment has been kind of a difficult one to shop in lately for the past year or so. Why? It's because manufacturers keep on bringing new cars, new compact SUVs to compete with other manufacturers, and it's kind of a rat race where they're trying to find out who's going to release the best car, the most fuel efficient, the most stylish, and the most packed with features at the very attractive point. So, Mitsubishi also thought, why not join the race? They introduced the new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, a compact SUV which competes with the likes of the Toyota Corolla Cross. You can throw in the Mahindra 3X Soul. It is a very competitive segment and they're not really forgiving, but allow me to introduce you to the new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, a compact SUV which comes powered by a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated engine with 77 kilowatt and 141 Newton meters of torque. Power is sent through the front wheels via a CVT transmission. Unfortunately, you do not get a 6-speed, dual clutch or even a manual option. The only option you have here is this CVT transmission. If you're looking to get yourself into the lowest or the cheapest Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, you're looking at 429,000, basically 430,000, right? And if you want this fully spec'd, fully loaded, you're gonna have to pay somewhere around 500,000 rand. And when it comes to design, Mitsubishi doesn't shy away from making something quite bold and, out there in your face. So the front end of this new Outlander Sport looks a little bit distinctive and a little bit different compared to what we've been seeing nowadays. So you get this new dynamic shield vibe here up front, you get the blacked out radiator grille, and you get these new Tour style LED headlights. And with this daytime running light here at the top, it is something a little bit similar to what you will see in a Volvo, but yes, it is pretty good looking, and you get this beautiful attractive front end. You also get creases on the bonnet here, which gives it that sporty look. Overall, I'm quite a fan of this front end. It looks very stylish, very bold, and something different. And when it comes to wheel options, the new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport has a range from 17 to 18-inch alloy wheels. So if you go for this top derivative Exceed, you get these beautiful two-tone machine polished 18-inch alloy wheels. They look pretty good. So you get disc brakes at the front, you also get disc brakes at the back there. There's minimal cladding, which kind of fits the style because this looks like a Panda black and white. So pretty interesting. For this top derivative, you get keyless entry, which you get the button here, which allows you to get in your car without the key. Unfortunately, you do not get a roof rail nor a sunroof, but you do get kind of a sporty line. And when it comes to the rear end, this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport looks just as interesting as it looks at the front. So you still get this same tail light as you see at the front, which has like this T-shaped here at the back. You get this small but good visibility here on this rear windscreen here. You get rear parking sensors, reverse camera, and you even get an electric tailgate, which, let me see, works like that. Pretty cool. So in terms of boot space, this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is rated to about 480 liters of boot capacity, which is pretty decent. You get a parcel shaft, which is very light. It's kind of a flimsy one, but I think it does the job at covering here. You also get a spare size wheel down there. And when it comes to the rear seat, you can fold them into the 60-40 split configuration, making them a little bit more practical. You now join me inside the interior of the new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Pretty interesting interior space, pretty nice to look at. You get a good mix of materials. I think Mitsubishi has done a very good job at mixing all these type of materials here. So first thing that you might notice with this interior space has to be this cloth material here is apparently coming from recycled material. I think it's denim. It's kind of bright, so when people will be touching it, it might get a little bit dirty. It might be stained quite easily, but you do get quite a lot of plastic also throughout the cabin. So the top part of the dashboard is plastic. The only soft materials that you have on the dashboard is this cloth material, but you get a leather wrap armrest here for your harbor on the door cards. You also get a leather wrap center console and a little bit of leather here on the shiftable leather, fully leather seat, which has this brown stripe here in the middle, which definitely looks attractive. I think this looks good on the seat. Not too sure why they added this brown color here on the dashboard, but I think it breaks out the whole black interior, so it makes it quite interesting to look at. Up front here, you have two digital screens, one for your instrument cluster and one for your infotainment. The infotainment is compatible with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly. Works good. A little bit overwhelming with all the features and layouts that you get there, because there is quite a lot of details, some gear control, altimeters, and whatnot. So it's basically selling you. I don't know if most people who watch this will know the features that were displayed on Pajeros, like the old Pajero Evos and Sport. You see all those altimeters and all those off-roading modes and dials all over here. Can be a little bit overwhelming to look at, but the basic does it well. So you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, easy to connect, but the whole infotainment with all those options make it a little bit not so user friendly. Besides that, you get instrument cluster, which displays all the right information, your trip computer and whatnot. You see your fuel consumption and everything here, pretty nice. Good resolution, decent enough. The reverse camera though feels like has a very weird angle. It looks kind of bowed out, a little bit too zoomed in, and yeah, but you do get a reverse camera view with this digital screen. Underneath here, you get dual zone climate control with physical control, which I do appreciate. Kind of tactile, very good to remember and have that muscle memory, and has like a small screen here, pretty good. You get two USB port here underneath, one on tap C and one on tap A, and you also get a wireless charging pad underneath here. And you get your drive mode selector here, which gets you to change it in different driving modes. All right, so here at the back of the new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, rear passenger space, legroom check, pretty good. Near room, pretty good. Headroom, decent. But when you lean back like this, you have plenty of room to, to not hit your head up top there. You still get the Yamaha sound system speakers here at the back. Leather armrest here for your harbor. The door cards are mostly plastic though, but they do feel very sturdy and very good. You get two USB ports here, one of type C and one of type A. Air vent here at the back, and yeah, you get a central armrest here where you have to pull this tab and then recline it. Has two cup holders there. You get ISO charge fix encouragement here at the back. You also get the same level of comfort and of quality as the front seats, so it's pretty good here. I wish we could get a sunroof here, but yeah, this is what you get in terms of space here at the back. On the mechanical side, this 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine paired to this CVT transmission works pretty fine, I have to say. Yes, the CVT transmission isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but it does the job fairly well. The only time where I felt that this transmission was kind of struggling is when overtaking on the highway, where when you put your foot down, you hear the the hollering, the scream coming from the CVT transmission, which tells you that you kind of have to plan when you want to overtake. So you already create a good distance and you know how much power you're going to use. Or if you feel like you want to get a little bit more excited here, you can use this override mode, which will allow you to get a little bit more torque, a little bit more revving range when you're overtaking. But besides that, it works pretty fine. It's even good enough when it comes to fuel consumption, because Mitsubishi claims that you can average somewhere around 6.2 liters per 100 kilometers, and we're currently sitting at 7.2. That is only a liter above what they claim, but I think it's due to this bumper-to-bumper traffic. But fuel consumption can always raise depending on your driving condition and driving methods and manners. But yeah, in terms of fuel efficiency, I think it is pretty decent. When it comes to handling, this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport still carries quite a little bit of that well-known DNA coming from Mitsubishi that we've known throughout the years. Yes, this is not a sports car, although it bears the name of Sport Outlander or Outlander Sport. Don't be fooled with that. So it's still decent, right? The handling is pretty good. In terms of steering, you get a good feedback coming from the steering wheel. A decent amount of weight to it, so it's not too adjusted. Has a decent amount of weight to it. And when it comes to the suspension is a little bit firm. Not firm to make it uncomfortable, firm enough for you to feel a little bit of those bumps or those potholes on the road. But for everyday use, I think it is pretty good enough. So when it comes to overall comfort inside this cabin, you get minimal level of NVH, so there is a little bit of wind noise coming through this A-pillar here, but it's not crazy. Right now we're sitting inside the car, even recording without any extra mics or whatnot. It is kind of hard to even pick up the driving sound of the cars around us, so it is pretty good. And yeah, like this, it is pretty quiet. Sometimes you don't get to even hear the engine much unless this CVT transmission starts hollering around. But overall, it is pretty comfortable, pretty good handling. It doesn't feel like it's tipping over when you're taking corners at speed. It is a little bit unsettled every now and then when you push it a little bit too hard, but for everyday use, for your average Joe, I think it handles pretty well. What I can tell you, it handles gravel road pretty well. So you get different driving modes where you can drive this car in. So you first have normal, you have wet, you have gravel, and then mud. There are no sport mode here, although it is called a sport, but yeah, they do function pretty well. So when we're on gravel road, we did put it on gravel and it handled pretty well. And also, if you feel like being a rally driver, I would suggest you not to do it in this car, but you do get a little bit of low range, which would allow you to have a little bit more torque and a little bit more control when you're driving on slippery surfaces. But overall, my driving experience with this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is pretty good. If I had to give it a rate, it's somewhere around 7.5 out of 10. You may wonder, what am a final total on this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport? Well, I believe that Mitsubishi has done a very good job at bringing this Outlander Sport in the market where it is kind of hard to, to shop and to find something that you really want. Yes, the market is very competitive. You get a lot of compact SUVs almost from any brands, and almost every 6 or 4 months and whatnot. So having something that stands out with its design, with its interior material choice and all of that, it is pretty good. Yes, the price is a little bit on the steeper side if you compare it to the rivals like the Chinese and whatnot. But remember, Mitsubishi has built a reputation throughout the whole world for years and years and years. So it's known to be very reliable, very good. You can drive them for years and years and years without having serious problems. So if you want something that has that recognition from the public, from other mechanics and whatnot, I think the Mitsubishi will be a good option, because it's also something different, because everyone is buying Omodas and buying Toyota Corolla Cross and whatnot. So driving this Mitsubishi Outlander will make you stand out from the bunch. So for me, I'll definitely recommend this. Go book yourself a test drive. Probably the mid spec is a good enough spec to go for, but at the end of the day, it depends on what you want. But if you're looking for a compact SUV, you have a small starting family, or even just a young professional, you want to drive something chic, something different, this Mitsubishi Outlander Sport will definitely tick that box. So book yourself a test drive and let me know what you think about this new Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. But if you find this review insightful and informative, please don't forget to comment or let me know what you think, and share it, subscribe, and yeah, all the YouTube algorithm things. And I shall see you on the next one. Cheers.